NewJeans Hanni speaks on workplace harassment. But where's Hyuk? The Riize boycott is getting huge. But is Jennie getting sabotaged? Lisa at the Victoria's Secret fashion show and so much more in today's episode of Totally Legit K-pop News with me, Angelina. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. So a while ago, it was announced that NewJeans Hanni would be speaking at a workplace assembly. No. A while ago, it was announced that NewJeans Hanni would be testifying at the Labor Committee of South Korea's National Assembly about workplace harassment. So she was summoned to testify about this, as well as new Ador CEO Kim Joo-young. And they actually had a bit of an exchange. We'll talk about that later, but a lot was revealed within this. She basically starts off by telling the story that she told in NewJeans' infamous emergency live stream, where a manager told another group to ignore her. If we remember, she never specifically mentioned which group. A lot of fans started speculating which group it actually was. It was kind of like unofficially confirmed that it was Islet. Then Belief Lab came out and denied that Islet's manager ever did that. But this is what she had to say. I don't understand why such things were said in a working environment. So I came here today because I know that if I didn't, this topic would be buried and these types of things may continue happening in the future. And I believe that this should not happen to colleagues, seniors, juniors, or trainees. So a bit of a recap. Again, she claims that a manager told another group to ignore her. She was in the Hybe building, of course, in like the hair and makeup section. They originally properly greeted her, but then on their way out, that's when she says the incident happened. Of course, this happening in the Hybe building, naturally there would be CCTV footage, right? However, she's claiming that the incident regarding the CCTV footage, like this story regarding the CCTV footage kept changing according to management. And actually, since her Korean isn't good, she actually recorded the meaning about this so she could understand everything and not miss any details. So here's a clip from the assembly.
여쭤봤어요. 왜 뒤가 없냐고요. 왜냐면 저희가 분명히 설명드렸을 텐데 근데 미팅 내내 왜 없다는 이유 계속 바뀌셨거든요.
You know, at first the story was that they reviewed the footage and because there's no audio to the CCTV footage, they really couldn't tell what happened. But then they had claimed that the footage hadn't necessarily been deleted, but rather there's a retention period of 30 days and that specific moment had passed the 30-day period. NewJeans' parents had claimed that they saw the CCTV footage, but that they only saw the moments leading up to the event. Hanni goes on to say, I asked why the back part of the clip was erased. I clearly explained things to them, but throughout the meeting, they kept changing their reason on why the clip was erased. They changed their reason and they made mistakes in their speech. They said the clip was erased, but the CEO backtracked suddenly. Since I'm a foreigner, an Australian-born Vietnamese, I can't understand Korean 100% even if I try. I don't want to miss anything in such an important meeting, so I went and recorded everything. I have proof that they are lying.
거짓말하고 계시는 증거가 있어요.
However, this doesn't seem to be the only event. I don't remember who said it. I think it was the parents who basically said even the chairman, Hyuk, doesn't greet NewJeans properly, with Hybe, of course, denying this. It seems that Min Hee-jin in her press conference said that Chairman Hyuk treated them poorly, and then the parents revealed that. That's what I remembered. At this point in time within the feud, a lot of fans are bringing up Hyuk's pictures with every single other Hybe group except for NewJeans, like showing compilations of him showing support to every other Hybe group except for NewJeans. And now some fans are going to go ahead and say, well, Min Hee-jin wants nothing to do with the rest of Hybe, so that's why I'm just presenting things to you from memory. But anyways, back to Hanni, who talks about greetings, you know, the importance of greetings. When it was claimed that Hyuk didn't greet NewJeans properly, that was a huge thing back then. She touches on this again. Since my debut in NewJeans, we ran into a person in a high up position many times, but they never greeted me when I greeted them. I understood from living in Korea that I have to be polite to older people, and that's part of the culture, but I think it's just disrespectful as being human being to not greet us, regardless of our professional status. There was a certain vibe of disrespect that I felt within the company. She also made mention of Hybe employees talking bad about NewJeans on Blind. We've talked about this before. It's basically a forum where verified employees can talk. And it was previously revealed that Hybe employees were talking about Minji's kalguksu scandal, how they had to be careful about like not eating kalguksu because of Ador, but now they're gonna have a kalguksu party. And she also talks about the high PR person who was accused of downplaying NewJeans' achievements. Basically, a journalist was writing about NewJeans' achievements in Japan, and then a high PR person called them to correct some information, saying, you know, they didn't actually sell that many albums and they didn't do as well as we thought they would. Hybe later clarified that that was just them trying to correct misinformation, but some people didn't really buy it, basically saying, you know, if you're correcting information, that's one thing, but to say that they didn't do as well as you thought they would have done, that's kind of a different thing.
회사 PR 팀에 계신 어떤
So she's talking about the PR team downplaying their debut success in Japan. Seeing this, it confirmed that what I was feeling wasn't just a feeling. I knew that the company, Hybe, hated us. The first comment here is literally, just curious, can't they switch companies? Like they don't deserve this treatment and they're really too young for all this. Man, if only, I'm sure a lot of problems could be solved if you, like in terms of mistreatment specifically, if you could just change companies. You could be mistreated and then get sued by your company because you're trying to leave and then still not be allowed to leave. Now the assembly in and of itself, I saw the live stream was about 12 hours long. Hanni's part, I believe, was about 15 minutes. So obviously we can't cover absolutely everything talked about in the assembly, but there are points where she teared up, you know, of course asking for better treatment because this is something that could affect literally anyone. There are differences between trainee and artist contracts, but there's also something similar. It's that we're all humans. I think you're missing that part. But let's move on to Kim Joo-young. Because in response to this, Kim Joo-young spoke as well, basically saying she thought she did everything that she could, but maybe that wasn't enough. Yes, as the internal director of Ador, I believe I took all the various measures I could, but seeing that Hanni feels this way and that it has come to this point, I reflect on whether there were parts where I could have done better. And Hanni actually responded to this, not like directly, but let me show you what I mean. So the chairman here basically asks Hanni after Kim Joo-young says that you've just heard what witness Kim Joo-young, the representative of your agency, said. Do you have anything to say about it? And she responds,
죄송한데 최선을 다하셨다고 생각하진 않아요.
so basically she says, I'm sorry, but I don't think you did your best. You kept saying that you'd protect us and you would have fought for us. I don't even see your will to fight for us. Moving forward, even if I say I'll do my best, I know this issue will continue. So before talking about the future, I hope this problem is addressed first. In response to what Hanni says, she does say, as Hanni said, we will listen more to the artists' voices and strengthen communication. In the current situation, there are parts where the parties' claims conflict. So I think it is important to confirm the facts above all else. I will faithfully cooperate with the ongoing investigation by the Ministry of Labor so that the facts can be clearly revealed. So there's a quote by Kim Joo-young that's going around that a lot of people are upset about, but it seems to be misrepresented. So she basically says artists are not included as workers. Now this seems to be more from like a logistical standpoint. I know celebrities like Hanni are not considered workers in the strictest legal sense. However, it is not important whether they are workers or not, but because we are a company that works closely with artists, it is very important that artists and employees work together with mutual respect. We have internal guidelines and regular trainings. We do a lot of work to internalize it into the organization. So I kind of understand what she's meaning by this. Like there are rules and regulations that would protect workers, right? But not artists. Does that make sense? Like I work technically for YouTube, but at the same time, I have no rights. I have no rights. I have no benefits. I got nothing. I'm technically considered not an employee of YouTube, but a freelancer. You know what I mean? So YouTube owes me nothing. If I get injured on the job, that's my own damn fault. Like I have no protections, nothing. So I think I'm assuming it's on like a similar wavelength, but then like if that's the case, that's pretty messed up. Like I'm just assuming it's like kind of somewhat similar. Like the rules governing workers are different than the rules governing artists, and that's what she's trying to say. That's what I'm understanding from it anyways. Oh, here we go. According to the current law, Labor Standards Act, artists are not classified as workers. I thought I was going to explain more. But another notable aspect to all of this is that Hyuk was not present. Hyuk, of course, being the founder of Hybe, and he's actually been called out about this a few times, first by Team Bunnies, which seems to be NewJeans' streaming team. They basically pointed out how he's in the US right now running around with girls the same age as his daughter. So they're basically saying that he was selected as a witness but didn't end up becoming a final witness because he's currently residing in the United States. And Mr. Hyuk, who is too busy to attend the state audit, I guess you have time to laugh and eat hamburgers in America with people your daughter's age. And this is the picture that they posted that says 2.9 million views, and of course posted by Team Bunnies. This was similarly called out at the National Assembly by Park Hong-bae. Pang Si-hyuk, the chairman of Hybe, who caused the controversy, is not here. I think we need to realize the seriousness of the situation within the company, not just be huffing and puffing about in the US. It seems Park Hong-bae is the guy with the NewJeans stickers on his laptop. Another thing that was revealed with all this was the of an employee at Hybe. So it's being claimed that in 2022, a worker unfortunately passed away due to overworking. And this was uncovered through recent audit investigations. So Kim Soo-young is being asked about this. So an official at the assembly is saying, we received a tip-off that in 2022, an employee of Hybe had fainted in the office and was brought to the hospital where they passed away. Is that true? So Kim Soo-young basically confirms this. An employee went to the break room around 5 p.m. saying that they would take a rest. Unfortunately, they passed out. But according to her, this person passed away at the hospital due to their personal illness. But the official isn't buying it. Personal illness, you say? Well, all the officials here think that it is overwork. Back then, Hybe was expanding its label system and workers had to take care of multiple artists at the same time, going for overseas schedules at the same time. There were many cases like this in your workers where they had to work all day and all night. I checked with the Korea Workers' Welfare Organization and there was no application for accidental workplace incidents. You claim that it was due to their personal illness, but we think you should have checked on the problem and we deem it due to overwork. We want to ask if the company tried to conceal the through overwork. Now, of course, she is denying this. She's claiming that there was no autopsy because of the workers' parents. They decided they didn't want to do that. With the official responding, this is how concealment works, by working with the bereaved. So that's been a big issue as well going around. But the response to this, I mean, it's been huge. We have so many mainstream news outlets talking about this, writing articles about this.
For years, the K-pop industry has been dogged by complaints of high pressure and bullying.
So they talk about Hanni speaking at the National Assembly and how, it's really odd for someone to come out and talk about their mistreatment in the middle of their careers. Maybe not the middle, but you get what I mean. Currently promoting, shall we say. And it seems the Australian embassy even reached out to Hanni's parents, offering support throughout this. I don't think you'd be surprised to know that a lot of K-netizens are quite supportive. Again, we cannot generalize everyone's opinions into one, but just reading a lot of comments. How can she be so good at talking? She's really suffering coming from another country. She's totally smart, seriously cool, brave Hanni. Well, I'm seeing Hanni in a new light. Controversy aside, she's just so good at talking. Before talking about the future, I hope this problem is addressed first. She's so good with words. She's in a tough position, but she speaks so well. She's so smart and commendable. Hanni is seriously good with words. That being said, of course, not everyone is reacting positively to this. A conversation for a long time now has been whether or not being ignored is a big enough issue. And I've talked about my personal opinion about this, I believe, in the last video, but this continues to be a conversation. A lot of people downplaying the issue, saying it's really not that bad, like being ignored in comparison to a lot of other things that idols have had to go through. There will come a time where these girls get a heavy reality check and it will be too late for them. And honestly, at this point, they're digging their own graves. This is pathetic, and they're using a literal child who's being ignored by another manager who firstly has nothing to do with her as a media stunt. Isn't she realizing they aren't taking her serious? She may be a child, but where are her parents? They're taking advantage of you, girl. Of course, everyone takes things differently, but being ignored after everything that insane woman has done and you five still supporting them is an expected and deserved thing. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't behave any different after someone put me through hell. I feel like the situation became much bigger than it needed to be. Being ignored once does not not mean you need to speak in front of an assembly of politicians about it. I do get her frustration with that, and the new CEO just brushing it under the rug. Bringing it out to the public forced the CEO to do something about it, but going as far as the National Assembly, that's too much. I think we're also forgetting that it wasn't Hanni who asked to speak at the National Assembly. She was summoned to testify. They found issue with what happened and they wanted to talk about it. Of course there was a choice involved, but it's not like I don't know. So I've talked about this before, but I guess we'll talk about it again. This is bigger than Hanni. It's way bigger than Hanni. It's much bigger than, oh my God, Hanni was ignored. It paints a much bigger picture, doesn't it? You're expected to not only work day and night, but then potentially be ostracized and ignored. And, all that can add up to a much bigger picture. And that's just what is willing to be said as of now. We all know idols experience mistreatment. We've all heard, the horror stories, and nothing has changed. These idols are mistreated, and then we saw with Seunghan from Riize, they can just be kicked out at the drop of a hat, Because I think it's a much bigger picture. It's a lot more than just ignoring someone. It's an institutional issue where it's supposed to be a professional environment, but it's not. I'm trying to find an example, and all I can think of is lawyers. Your lawyer is fighting another lawyer and it seems really intense, but then after it's all done, they're professional to each other after. Do you know what I mean? There's a certain level of decorum that you have to keep. You can't take that personal beef that you have because you're fighting that other lawyer because their client has beef with your client. You can't bring that outside of wherever do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm trying to think of instances where it can seem super serious. You have a super serious beef, but you still have to be professional. Do you know what I mean? You're expected to be professional at work, but when the higher ups can't even be professional, who do you go to? You're stuck in this cycle. I don't know if that makes any freaking sense, but anyways, those are just some more of my thoughts paired with my thoughts from the last video as well. We want to be able to make changes for workers, changes for idols. We want to create better environments for people to comfortably work. But anyways, with that being said, of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Can we talk about Lisa at the Victoria's Secret fashion show? First of all, people were loving her various looks. So Lisa with Taylor's outfit of 2018. So she wore this magical cape. Here's a fancy video of her. Very stunning. And then the looks she wore on stage. I think we're gonna have to bring in Modesty Kevin for this one, but so she wore this beautiful look. Ah, yeah. That was just one of the looks. This was her rock star look. Rock star. Oh my God. I don't know if it was intentional for the under boob thing, but I was nervous. I didn't watch the full performance yet because I would like to do so for my channel members and patrons, which we're about to do after this segment. But people were really happy with her live vocals. Lisa delivered a stunning performance of Moonlit Floor as angels graced the runway, creating a magical atmosphere. Please, Lisa's vocals, especially during her MLF. What is that? Entrance. Ah, so refreshing. You hear that? That's the sound of her slaying the stage. Did you hear enough? We just watched that. This is sickening. The stage presence, the live vocals, the charisma, the dance break. It's so effing good. Oh God, Lisa, you did it again. That's how you open a show. Is this the motorcycle? Like I said, I'm going to watch it in 2 minutes, but I did see a motorcycle. Fancy, fancy. It can't get any liver than this. This is the same video. That being said, I'm about to watch her entire performance for my channel members and patrons. So, unless you're living under a rock, of course, I'm assuming you've heard that Seunghan was removed from Riize just 2 days after it was announced that he was coming back. That coming after an almost 1 year hiatus. And in the last video, we talked about fans calling for a boycott of Riize/SM. But how it would really only be effective if people showed a strong front, if people actually pulled through with what they said they wanted to do. And in the newest update to this Riize boycott, aside from fans unfollowing Riize on their social media accounts and them losing a lot of followers, it seems K-pop stores are now announcing that they won't be restocking Riize albums. Now, some of these stores are pretty big. So Sub K-Shop made this announcement. In light of recent events, we have decided to temporarily halt the importing of Riize products out of respect for our customers, fans, and the artists. Existing orders will still be fulfilled, pre-purchased inventory will remain, and future sales will be reevaluated as the situation evolves. Light Up K also are not going to be restocking their albums. And I've seen so many K-pop stores follow suit, and a lot of fans also just, mass emailing other K-pop stores for them to do the same. I mean, we all know how important album sales are. We all know how important it is to interact with them on social media. So if you hit a company where it really hurts and where the only place it actually hurts is their bank account, I mean, we love to see it. Hey, Hyuk announced this as well. Choice Music LA as well. Here are some reactions. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but seeing all these big K-pop stores standing with us for this protest, something big is about to happen. This is how you do it. Hit them right in the pockets. I don't think y'all understand how serious this is. Like, Sub K is a huge distributor of albums and merch. SM, you're cooked. Jeff Benjamin commenting, bold stance. Subculture's touring sect has even partnered with SM, Shiny Red Velvet, NCT for tours. Here's some K-netizen responses. Again, these are not all perspectives. Now I can understand why SM can't penetrate the West. But these are kids who barely know who Seunghan and Riize are, so who cares? They don't have money, don't even know the fan chan, and only show Riize in the middle of the song. SM are the ones who did the crazy thing to not withdraw him right away. If they did, it wouldn't have hurt the member, the domestic fans, and the international fans. I don't think they will have that much impact. Who cares? Korea will stand them anyways. These comments agreeing, international fans have good judgment. Yeah, this incident was way too disgusting. In another comment section, I just saw a lot of international stands being called eye roaches. What's new? Who cares? Not like they bought albums in the first place. I actually saw this comment basically saying, I wish I remembered the specifics, but when there's bulk albums being ordered by a lot of fans, it's usually from South Korea, so it counts for South Korean purchasing power, if that makes sense. But it's international fans doing a lot of the purchases. I mean, ask an international fan to show you their K-pop collection, I've seen a lot of people in my comment section also being like, what do you mean international fans don't buy? They don't have money. These bitches are wasting all their money on albums. What do you mean? So that's where we are with the boycott as of now. Let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to Kpop Shenanigans, which are basically fun little things that have happened in K-pop recently and or quick news. SM have officially terminated their contract with ex-NCT member Tae. Of course, he is under investigation right now. This not only constitutes grounds for termination under our contract, but also makes it impossible to maintain trust in him as an artist. G-Dragon's new song title was apparently revealed to be Power. This is my first thought.
Power! What was that? Is it something out of my nose?
Cat's Eye are going to perform at the Mama Awards. On that note, the Mama Awards are facing backlash for snubbing a lot of faves. Old 50/50 are debuting as A Bloom. Red Velvet's Wendy is going to feature on one of Jin's tracks for his upcoming solo album. I saw this tweet, I thought it was so funny. Halsey impersonates Jungwoo of NCT 127 for her upcoming album, The Great Impersonator. Jennie just can't catch a break with her new comeback mantra. Some fans think she's purposely being sabotaged. So number one, her ex account was suspended. And then she was having issues with her Instagram account, where she couldn't access her Instagram account on her phone. And then her music video was removed due to copyright claims. So SME basically took it down. It's since been put back up, but still. And actually, I did a music video reaction for Jennie's mantra for my channel members and patrons. Blocked worldwide. I was like, how are people doing music video reactions? But then I went on YouTube and everybody else was doing music video reactions. So I'm like, why did mine get blocked? And it wasn't even a public video. I mean, that doesn't matter, but some of these comments are a little problematic. Let's go to a different comment section. First, their Twitter account now Mantra's video. Someone definitely wants to sabotage her. From her accounts to her music videos, what has this woman ever done to y'all to hate her this much? WTF? But why? What copyright issues? What are they talking about? More details, please. Not good. When I heard SME, I was like, SM Entertainment? Who is that? I don't think so. When I get copyright claims from SM Entertainment, it usually says SM Entertainment. But that is basically it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. As for me, I'm gonna get going. So see you guys next time. Bye.